I feel like what's giving a lot of people trouble is figuring out how to exactly graph these exponential functions. So I want to go over some rules to follow and then go through a couple examples, and hopefully this will help clear up any confusion that we may have. So first, let's outline the steps to follow when approaching graphing exponential functions. So the first step is to start with our xy chart with x being 0 and 1 and ignore any h and k values. Now this is our general form of an exponential function, so all I'm saying is to ignore this value and this value for right now. Everything else can stay. The next step, after I find my y values with the x values without h and k, I factor in h and k by adjusting the x and y values. So h affects x and k affects the y. The third step is to plot your 2 points that you have after adjusting for h and k and the asymptote. And remember, the asymptote is really just whatever the value for k is. And finally, the last step is to just sketch your graph. So let's do a quick example. F of x equals 2 raised to the 2 parentheses x minus 3 and all minus 1. So what we do is we start with our xy chart with 0 and 1, and we take our function and we ignore h and k. So this is h, this is k, and so we ignore those. So my new function that I'm going to start with is 2 raised to the 2x. So if I put 0 in there, I know that f of 0 is 2 raised to the 2 times 0. That's 2 raised to the 0, which is 1, so 1 goes there. Then f of 1, putting in 1 for x, 2 raised to the 2 times 1 is equal to 2 squared, which is 4. So 4 goes in for my y. Now that I have these points, I come in and I factor h and k back in. So h is 3 and k is negative 1. So that means this moves 3 right and 1 down. So how do I factor these into the table? Well, 3 right just adds 3 to the x direction, so that becomes 3. This becomes 4. 1 down subtracts 1 in the y direction, so this 1 becomes 0. This 4 becomes 3. So now I have my final 2 points, 3, 0 and 4, 3. I need one more piece of information, and that's my asymptote. Now my asymptote is given by this k value, so the asymptote in this case is y equals negative 1. So when I go to plot this, the first thing I'm going to plot is my asymptote. Now my asymptote is y equals negative 1, so that goes along y equals negative 1. And my 2 points are 3, 0, so 3, 0, and 4, 3. So I know the graph has to pass through those 2 points, and so I do something like that. And that's a very rough sketch, but that's around what it looks like. And so what we're really looking for in these graphs are your 2 points and the asymptote. And then the sketch can be pretty rough as long as you have those 2 points in the asymptote and you do a decent job at drawing the graph, then you're good.